Hello everyone, I'm back again with what is probably my most complicated Google Sheets breakout clue that I've ever made. It took me longer than anything else has. But let me just show you how it works. So the students had to solve a system, or two systems, and they had to put the correct answers here, and then some different things happened than normal. So I'm just going to put some correct answers in here. So this first one was 3. And so we had it set so that if they got it right, it gave them a correct answer. If they got it wrong, they got an incorrect answer. And if it was blank, it was black. So that is kind of, we handled that in the last video, in the previous video. So if you don't know how to do that, you can go watch the previous video, because that was the next step in complicated, right? So let's say 3, 7, 8. And I did put different sayings in each one. Okay, that doesn't add to the difficulty too much. But what I do want to show you is that, normally when you get all the answers in, 2, -3, -5, we've been having something reveal. But that's not the case on this one. Nothing showed up when this happened. So let me show you what actually did happen as we were going. And this is hard to find. But this was an advanced class. There was a second tab down here, and I did name them this time. So it said Mischief and Managed, which was supposed to be a clue that they're supposed to click on this. They don't ever look at that second tab, I promise. So what I set this up as was a little bit of pixel art, and I went ahead and wrote the bit.ly. And as they got an answer correct, a new letter would be revealed over here. So there you go. There you go. And once we got all of them entered, oops. Okay, then it looked like this. Now, this was actually 2 clues. So this was the answer to their color lock, first of all. And then it was also a link to another puzzle. Okay, so this was 2 things in one. Let's talk about how it worked. Okay, so first of all, let me go ahead and delete this so I don't mess up my thing here. Let's go look at the key. First of all, there was actually a third sheet involved in this that I hid. Okay, just like I did when I was doing the other stuff. So all of in my last videos. So notice I had to call the sheet by its name, Mischief, F4 equals 3. So it looked at that particular cell back on that first sheet to verify it, and if it was correct, it said, well done, Putter, well done. Otherwise, it said, or if it was empty, it did nothing, and if it was wrong, it said, pity, clearly fame isn't everything. Okay, so that's step 1, and after the last video, you probably know how to do that. But the next thing we did was this part, and here's how I did it. I actually figured out which cells I needed to color in for each letter. And then each one of these has a formula in it. And instead of referencing that first sheet, the Mischief sheet, I referenced sheet 3. Okay, so so this is very convoluted, but the whole idea is that the students wouldn't be able to find the answers. So I referenced that. And this formula I copied and pasted into all the cells that would formulate the A. Now what I had it do was if it had the correct message, I had it put an X in this cell. And if not, I left it blank. So I kept that as a simpler formula. Now, you might notice that you don't see an X. That is because you may notice that this is formulated so that the text color is actually the same, or is actually red. So I set the formula up so that it would put red X's in these boxes. Then I went through and I used conditional formatting on these cells. Okay, so for example, so if the cell wasn't empty, it turned those cells red. And you can kind of see if I scroll over it that I selected all of those ones that would end up with an X in them. And so basically at the same time that it ended up with a red X in the cell, it also got filled with a red color, and that made it show up as the letter A. So that's really convoluted and complicated, but that's what I did. So this one checked the next answer, and of course you can see that the conditional formatting is on there and that the text was formatted to match. So it put an X in it. You can't see the X's because they're the same color as the fill. And basically that's how I did the reveal. So this one was just a little bit different. I just wanted to show you another example. And you can see, actually, because I have the conditional formatting open, that I used conditional formatting on this front page as well, so that if it gave them a basically a correct answer, it would make it green. If the cell was empty, then it made it black. And then if it was wrong, it was the red. And notice that this empty condition could not be at the end. Remember from the first video that needs to be before the wrong answer. Okay, so I hope that helps, and feel free to pause the video over those formulas and write those down if you need them. That may help you out.